Happy Groundhog's Day and happy birthday to all you Groundhog's Day babies. Today, I'd like to talk about one of the most overlooked methods of paying for yours or your children's college education. My name is Kevin Korhorn. I'm one of the financial planners at Korhorn Financial Group and one of the contributors to the Wise Money Show. Mike Bernard is currently saving the planet, and so I will be filling in for him. And it's my special honor to fill in for him today, 2/2/2021. So on 2/2/2000, my son Joshua Paul Korhorn entered this world along with the Davis twins, separate hospital, but since good friends. And I've had the joy of being his father for the last 21 years. When he turned 18, he enlisted in the United States Army. And he's serving currently in Iraq. He actually was supposed to be home, and his mother and I were excited about driving to North Carolina to Fort Bragg to see him for a portion of the week and celebrate his 21st birthday with him. Well, unfortunately, we won't get to, but his friends in Iraq will be celebrating his 21st birthday with him. So he's doing a lot of work. He's in the finance corps there, and he also likes to play soccer and work out over there. So he's really having a nice time over in Iraq, but he really would actually love to be home. He's not sure when he's going to be home, and I encouraged him from my time in the Army, you'll know when you're going to be home because the plane lands at home. And we never really knew if or when we were actually going. But the question is not about my son Joshua, but it's about, hey, what is this overlooked method? When Joshua was a junior, we went and looked at 3 different colleges, and he's like, I'm not so sure. And then we said, hey, where do you want to look at next? And he said, I don't want to look anywhere else. I just want to join the Army. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, I personally had been in the Army, and that's how I funded my own college. I thought that was interesting that he wanted to do that. But that's what he wanted to do. The nice thing is that took a lot of pressure off of him in his senior year. And while all of his friends were sweating it out and applying to colleges and working on the financial aid and all this other stuff, he did not have that to worry about. He just did his senior year, had a great time, and graduated and went, he graduated early June, and by June 18th, he was headed to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. So he's been doing this for 3 years. He'll get out of the Army in June of this year. And one of the things that he's spent his last year working on was applying to different schools. And the schools that were an option to him now that he's got 3 years of job experience and he'll be a veteran, the range of opportunities is much greater to him now than when he was graduating, the potential range of opportunities when he was graduating from high school. So his dream school, I said, well, where do you want to go? And we talked about kind of the requirements and what kind of a load there would be. And he's like, Dad, my dream school is Notre Dame. That's the place I've always wanted to go. So I said, okay, well, go for it. Let's see what you can do. And by the grace of God and some other amazing things, he was accepted to Notre Dame, and he starts there this fall. So you say, well, but tell me about this overlooked method. So here's the amazing thing. Because the Soldier Scholars Program and the GI Bill, when I was in, I had the Montgomery GI Bill. He has the post 9/11 GI Bill. But because of a few things that have worked out the way that they have, basically he has a full ride to Notre Dame paid. And if you do the math on that, that is a meaningful amount of money. So people say, well, why would I consider that for my kid? I would give you a couple of reasons. Number one, and I was actually just talking with Joshua yesterday, and he was saying, Dad, the best thing about going in the Army is I've been able to kind of develop and grow up and think about who I want to become. And I'm pretty focused now on becoming the man that I want to be. So I look at the Army and the armed forces as kind of a finishing school, because you don't have to go and make those big adult life decisions right away. You have a period of time when you're getting paid to do something and really improve your own personal financial position. But also, with the price of education, it's just grown. If you look at anything that has been basically government controlled, the inflation on those things is just incredible. So the cost right now is pretty astronomical. Most kids aren't able to do it without saddling themselves with some sort of debt. There's almost $2 trillion of student loan debt, and there's all these other issues. And I say, hey, if you wanted to go work for a year or 2 or 3 years, have a gap year. The Army has a 2-year enlistment, so you could enlist for 2 years. You could do 3 years. You could do whatever. And then you can also get a skill. I mean, the great thing is Joshua's gotten a skill. He lived in South Korea for a year. He's lived in Iraq for almost a year. So the 3 years that he's served his country, he's been able to live overseas and see some incredible things and gain some incredible experiences. So I would encourage you, if you are a parent talking with your student about how you're going to afford college, or if you're a student and you're saying, there's no way, my folks don't have the dough to pay for me and they don't want to go massively in debt, and I really don't want to go massively in debt. How would I do this? I would encourage you to start doing some research and see, is there any way possible that that serving my country could give more than just one purpose? Because what the armed services have to do is they have to create some pretty incredible benefits to attract these talented young kids. So I would explore that and see. It's not for everybody, but if it's for you, it can really set you up well for a really great future. So if you need any help with college planning or education planning, make sure you're working with a planner. If you're working with a planner, make sure they're certified. So, and if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us, info@korhorn.com, Korhorn with a K, KORHORN.com, info@korhorn.com. Feel free to text us at 574-222-2000. And we'll reach back to you and answer any of your questions. We may answer it on the radio show. So I hope that helps you and gives you maybe a thought that you might not have had before. There you have it. So go ahead and take your next wise step.